redundant bit, it is not possible to identify the errors or detect the errors. So what is the meaning of detection and correction? Always correction is complex compared to detection. Okay, so detection means it is going to return either yes or no. Is that error is there in the data? Yes or no. That's all. That is easy. Implementing detection method is very easy. But when it comes to correction, okay, there is a complexity because it has to identify how many number of bits got corrupted. Okay, and also which bit is got corrupted. So it requires to know all these things to correct the errors. Okay. So next we started with the coding. So how coding, it is one of the technique used for error detection and correction. Okay, your sender adds redundant bits in coding scheme. What happens is, okay, so redundancy is achieved through various coding schemes. Yesterday I already told there are two methods. One is block coding and convolution coding. Convolution coding, it is not part of syllabus. Even in the textbook also they have not given. So it will be used for advanced level. Okay, for the basic or elementary level, you will be learning about the block coding. Okay, so whatever the methods we are going to discuss, it is using block coding. So here what happens at the sender, the main method used for coding is adding the redundant bits. Okay, so what redundant bits you need to add? So that is the technique. Okay, what technique you are going to use to identify what extra bits should be added. Okay, that is called as coding mechanism. Then at the receiver side, what happens? Receiver checks the relationship between the redundant bits and data bits to detect the errors. Okay, what is the purpose of adding redundant bits is to identify errors. Okay, once it is identified, it can be corrected also. Okay, then okay, so here there are different methods. So in that, the two factors that can be considered is ratio of redundant bits to the data bits and robustness of the process. Like what is the speed of the method you're going to use, how much time or what is the process it is going to involve. So all this matters for the detection and correction. So main categories block coding and convolution. So we'll just start with the block coding. Okay, so here to detect and correct error, we need to add send extra bits with the data. Okay, so forward error correction and retransmission. Let me just go through that later. So you can just observe this diagram. Okay, so this is simple diagram that tells the structure of encoder and decoder. So here also we have encoding and decoding, but this is with respect to error detection and correction, not at the physical layer. We are not doing whatever we have learned, signal, all those things that comes under physical layer. Okay, encoding, modulation, switching, everything you have learned at the physical layer. So this is at the data link layer. Okay, so how encoding is done. So now consider this is a sender machine. Okay, so now sender want to send the data. Okay, there is a message. Okay, this message is sent to a separate module called generator. Okay, so this, what is the function of this generator, is going to identify what are the extra bits should be added according to the given data. Okay, so here the major role comes here. So how this generator is implemented, so we'll discuss that with a different methods. So how this generator is implemented. Okay, so now this generator is going to find out what are the extra bits should be added. Okay, so from this generator you're going to identify what are the extra bits. Once the extra bits are calculated, so next step is you need to forward both data and extra bits together. Okay, the message the sender want to send plus whatever the extra bits you got from the generator, add that also along with the data. Okay, send through the transmission media. Then at the receiver side, so now the receiver is receive that complete information, that is message and redundant extra bits. Okay, and that is sent to another separate module called checker. Okay, so this is another module, checker. So what is the function of checker? So the function of checker is to check the data received. Is it having error in the received data? For error detection, it has to make use of those extra bits added in the message, okay, and calculate. Okay, in case if the checker came to know that there is no error, once again we have different logic here. How to identify the received message is not having any error or it is having errors. Okay, so that part we are going to discuss, the generator and checker. If you know generator how it works, the reverse operation is the checker. Okay, like how we have learned modulation and demodulation, similar to that. Okay, so here based on that method, it will come to know that either if it is with respect to value returned is 0, that means there is no error. If other than 0, okay, I will tell why this is I am writing. Okay, so this is one parameter we have used in the next method. If it is other than 0, whatever it is returning, okay, it contains error. The data received is having error. The data is corrupted. So then what is the solution? So there are two possible solutions depending on the method. Either it is going to correct the data, okay, in case if any error, it will correct those errors. One method. Another method, simple method is you discard that message, okay, don't deliver the message to the decoder in case if there is a error, okay. So discard that complete message and ask for the retransmission, okay. So or if your method whatever you have implemented at the checker, if it is having error correction method is included, so that method it is going to correct the error wherever it is identified there is an error in the received data. Okay, so here at the checker if there is no error, what happens is it will remove the extra bits. Okay, whatever you have added here, so those extra bits will be removed. Okay, remove extra bits before delivering to the receiver. It has to remove the extra bits in case if there is no error in the received data, and whatever the data it is there, just deliver that data or the message to the receiver. Okay, this is the basic diagram or the structure that can be used for error detection and correction. Okay, so this is encoder at the sender side and decoder at the receiver side. So everybody understood this block diagram? Yes, everyone understood. So here you can just see this is unreliable transmission. That means you cannot ensure whatever the data is sent, it is received as it is. Okay, so it is not possible practically. Most of the time, whatever the data that goes through the transmission medium, there will be an error. Okay, to some percentage due to noise or due to interference, so the data may get changed. Understood everyone? So now whatever the method we are going to discuss, okay, so we'll be just focusing on this generator. Okay, so how to identify extra bits, okay, and how it can be use those extra bits to detect the errors. Okay, so if this block diagram is clear, you will understand that so how error detection correction can be done. Okay, so convolution method I already told. Let me just skip this. So let me go to the first method called block coding. Okay, block coding and convolution. Convolution is not part of that. I will not be touching upon that. So next we'll move on to block coding. So here, what is the meaning of block coding? So this is mainly used for error detection. Okay, so error detection and correction. In block coding, we divide our message into blocks. Okay, so whatever the data to be sent, even if you want to send an email, okay, your mail is not sent as it is. If it is a PDF file or some other data, it will be divided into number of blocks. Okay, so each block it is of k bits. K bits. Okay, and this whatever the block you are divided into k bits, it is called data word. Okay, I'm just focusing on the important term, data word. Okay, whatever the data you want to send, it when it is divided into block with the k bits, so each block we call it as a data word. So this is one data word, this is another data word. Okay, so data word, the term is used at the sender side, just remember. Okay, so here we add our redundant bits. Okay, you have, I am going to deal with the block, one block at a time now. Okay, so I have data word of size k bits. Next, now I want to add the R redundant bit. Okay, so don't get confused. Redundant bits means extra bits you're going to add along with the data before sending. Okay, so now for this data I'm adding these extra bits. So that means I am going to get one more new data that is called code word. Okay, code word, and it is of size and it is represented with n, and this is n is equal to k plus r. Is it everybody understood this main basic concept? Okay, when the data whatever the message you have, that should be divided into k blocks, different data blocks, and each block of size k bits. Okay, so k indicates k bits indicates a data word. For each block you are going to add a extra r bits. Okay, so consider this is r and this is, okay, from year to year it is k bits, and all, if you are considering this, let me just write it here. Okay, so this is code word. The length of data word and code word are going to be different. So this is k bits, this is k bits, and this is r bits. So totally this is called as code word of size n. Code word of size n bits. Okay, so just remember this important point. So now we'll move on and how this can be used redundant bit for detection of errors. Okay, you can just observe here. So you have 2 power k data words for each k bits. Then for these data words you will be having 2 power n code words. Okay, so each of n bits. So how you got n bits? By adding the extra bits r. Okay, so that is k plus r, you got n value. So now what is this n bit indicates? It's corresponding to this block. Okay, how I got n bits? By adding k plus r. Okay, so the number of possible code words here, it is going to be 2 power n code words. Okay, so can you remember the number of possible code words you are going to get? With respect to this, it is going to be more compared to this. Okay, 2 power k words are less compared to 2 power n words. Are you going to agree? So you are going to get extra code words. Okay, it is not required those extra code words. If you have number of data words here 10, okay, then you should have only 10 code words. In case because of this n value you may have some more code words. Okay, so that may not be used, it can be just discarded. So you'll be using only 2 per k valid code words. Okay, okay, so here there is an example block coding. So here k is equal to 4 and n is equal to 5. That means how many extra bits you added here? What is r? R is equal to 1. Okay, so now 2 power k is equal to, so just substitute 2 power 4, you are going to get 16 data words. So now for this n, so that is 2 power n is equal to 2 power 5, that is equal to 32. So you are going to get 32 code words. You should, it is not required so many code words. You can just use only, out of this 32 you can use only 16 code words and remaining should be discarded. Okay, so 16 out of 32 code words are used for message transfer and the rest of are either used for other purpose or it may be just discarded unused. Okay, so we are not going to consider the remaining 16. This is just an example. Okay, always you will be having, because the value of n is not same as k. So when value of n is keep on increasing, that is number of extra bits you are going to add, obviously the possibility of more code words you are going to get here. Okay, more than 2 per k. So in that case, extra code words can be left as it is. So now in block coding, the message is divided into k bits. I think this is just repetition of the same thing what I explained. So now let me move on to error detection. So here, if the following two conditions are met, the receiver can detect change in the original code. So how the receiver is going to come to know that there is an error in the received data. Okay, so based on following these 2 points, the receiver has list of valid code words. Okay, so even the receiver, the both sender and receiver should have these valid code words. They should know what are the code words they are using. Okay, so is it 3-bit code word or is it 4-bit code word? Everything should be known by the sender and the receiver. Okay, so both party will be having the code words. Then original code word has changed to invalid code word. Okay, so now when the sender is sending the data, okay, so whatever the data it is received with the help of the those extra bits and whatever the code words it is maintained at the receiver, it will just make a comparison. Okay, it will make a just comparison. If any changes in the received data, okay, obviously it is not going to match with all the set of code words that is present at the receiver side. Okay, so it should match with these code words. In case if there is no match, then you will come to know that there is an error introduced in the received data. So now with respect to block coding, so how exactly it is going to happen, the finding out the extra bits, let me just explain in brief. The sender creates code words out of data words by using generator. Okay, and that diagram I have shown, no, it's very similar to that. Okay, this is general diagram, but now later I'll explain with respect to the topic. So now what is this generator is going to do, I'm going to explain in block coding. So here the sender creates code words out of data words by using generator. Generator applies the rule. That is very important. What rule it is going to apply? Okay, we have different techniques for that. So this is only important thing. What rule it is going to apply at the generator. Okay, and procedure for encoding. Okay, what is the procedure used for encoding? So during transmission, each code word is sent to the receiver may change. Okay, whenever there is a change in the code word, if it is not matching at the receiver side, obviously it is easy to identify there is an error or not. Okay, still I have not told what is the logic used at the generator. This is a general procedure you are going to, the sender and receiver is going to follow it. So now at the receiver, so if the received code word is same as, just listen, I'm just telling about the theory part, how exactly the sender and receiver is going to involve in identifying the error. Okay, so if the received code word is same as the valid code word, okay, so what is valid code word here? So I told you going, when you do 2 power n possible code words, you will be getting 2 power n is 2 greater than 2 power k. Okay, so you will get more than required possible code words. So in that case, you need to discard some and only take set of valid code words. Okay, and the same set of code words should also be known by the receiver. Okay, these code words. So now whatever the data sent by the sender, okay, so that is in the form of code word, it should match with any of these valid code word. Okay, then if it is matching, so that particular data is accepted. Data is accepted. The corresponding data word, okay, once it is come to know that it is a valid code word, and whatever the extra bit it is added, r bit, okay, so that has to be removed. Okay, and deliver only this message or data part to the next layer. Okay, so that is a main, that is a procedure used for extraction of the data if there is no error. Okay, if the received code word is invalid, okay, how will come to know that it is invalid? Because the receiver is already having set of valid code words. Okay, if it is not matching with those code words, so then it indicates that it is invalid. Invalid means there is an error. So whenever if there is an error, there are two possibilities. One is correct the error, and another method is uh, it can be just discarded. Okay, and ask for retransmission. So depending on the context, okay, how many bits got corrupted, so depending on that, so the decision will be taken. Either it will go for error correction, or it will ask the sender to retransmit by specifying the uh, number, sequence number. I told in the last class what is the meaning of sequence number. Each packet is assigned with a sequence number when it arrives at the receiver. Okay, so if it is not valid, so then it has to acknowledge to the sender by specifying that sequence number, so that the sender will retransmit the data. Okay, to some cases this method can also be used, retransmission. So here, however, if the code word is corrupted, but the received code word still matches a valid code word. Okay, so this is also one more case. So one is simple method is, okay, either it is valid or invalid. Sometimes due to more than one bit got corrupted, in such cases it may still matches with any one of the code word that is present in the present, or it is there at the receiver side. Okay, it's possible. I'll just give some examples for that. Try to understand this point. Okay, the first method is very easy, but sometimes if it is the number of bits got corrupted is more than one, okay, so in that case it will get matched with any one of the code word that is valid code word. Okay, and it remains the error is undetected. Okay, so in that case error is not detected, and the incorrect data is delivered to the receiver. So this point many times this problem is going to occur when there is more number of errors. An error detecting code can detect only, sorry, so detect only types of errors for which it is designed. Okay, so here like there is a limitation for each of the method, how many number of errors it can detect. Okay, so that is limited by the particular method used. So other type of error may remain undetected. Okay, so this is, you can just see it is exactly similar to the previous diagram, that is encoder and decoder. It looks exactly same. Okay, but here the procedure is explained. Okay, there is a k-bit data word. Okay, that is sent to the generator. Generator will add our bits, extra bits to that, and forms the n bit. Okay, so this code word is, whatever the code word is formed by adding the extra bit, that is sent to the sender, to the receiver. Once it is received, it will send to the checker. So now checker is going to check is it there is an error or not. If there is an error in the received data, okay, it will discard the message. Okay, and it will, the receiver should ask for retransmission of the data. I'm just explaining with respect to this method, error detection. Okay, so if it is correction, it is not going to discard. So it should have one particular method at the checker that is going to correct the error also. Okay, so here I'm just talking with respect to error detection. Okay, if it is correct, in case if the data is correct, okay, if the code word is matching, then it will extract only the data and deliver to the receiver. Okay, whatever the extra bits it is added, it is removed. So you can just, this is not a complex thing, you can just remember what is this kn, then easily you will understand. Any doubts in this diagram? Everybody following? Everyone is following, can respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So let us assume that k is equal to 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So here we'll just solve one or two problems with respect to this block encoding. Okay. So here assume k is equal to 2 and n is equal to 3. Is it, I have a table here. Okay, this is a table. Okay, you can just observe what is the table tells. I have 2 bits data 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, for this I have just added one extra bit. Okay, so how we are going to add extra bit, that is once again a different method. I will explain how that extra bit is added. Okay, so this is, what is this? This is data. Okay, and this is extra bit, that is redundant bit. Okay, this is data and this is extra bit. Okay, so now if this is a case, so we'll just take the first case. So let us assume k is equal to 2 and n is equal to 3. So shows the list of data words and code words. So now assume that, we'll just assume that the sender encodes data word 01 as 011 and sends it to a receiver. Okay, so consider all these possible cases. So now let's move on to, just a minute. So what is the data it is sent? 0. The table is required. Let me just quickly write the table. Okay, so here you just write the table. This is not actually very important what I am explaining. It is a very basic thing you need to understand the further methods. Code word. So here I have data 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, so here valid code word. Okay, so just write first data, that is 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, add 1 0 1 and here it is 0. So you will come to know this is like you can use XOR operation to find out what is the extra bit to be added. So I will just explain that part, how I added that one bit extra. So here let me just understand how this error detection and correction is done. Okay, so here actually according to this, what should be the possible code word you are going to get? It is 2 power 3. Okay, and your data words are only 2 power 2, 2 power, okay, 2 power 2, that means 4 data words. That means you are getting 8 code words. So you can just select only 4 code words and remaining you just discard it. So here I have selected these code words and the same code word should be there at the receiver side. So now that is the first problem. It is just for understanding purpose. Okay, so here assume the sender encodes data word 0 1 as 0 1 1. Okay, so 0 1, I think it is this data. Okay, so 0 1 is encoded as 0 1 1. So we'll try to understand in with all possible cases how this data may get corrupted. The first case, the receiver receives 0 1 1 and it is valid code word and extract the, okay, the first case, consider this is sent. Okay, this data is sent by the sender, the same thing it is received at the receiver side, that is 0 1 1. So here this 0 1 1 whatever it is received, it will check in the table code word. Okay, so obviously it is matching here. So it comes to know that this is a valid code word. It will extract the data 0 1 and delivers to the receiver. Okay, so if there is no error, this is the first case. So let's take another case where there is one bit is modified. Okay, if the code word is corrupted during transmission, okay, 1 1 is received. Okay, so what is the data I am sending? So this is my data. So instead of, even though sender is sending 0 1 1, so due to error it is changed to 1 1. Okay, so this bit got corrupted. So do you have this code word matching in this table? It is not matching with respect to this table, and it will come to know that this is not a valid code word. Okay, if it is not valid code word, that means there is a error. There is a error and discard this data. Is it clear? Are you people are following? I'm just taking some cases how to identify in simple way. So I'll go, maybe there is a possibility, even though there is a data is corrupted, okay, or error is introduced, still it is matching with the code word. So try to understand. Very simple topic. Only thing is you need to understand. So the next case, maybe the code word is corrupted during transmission, okay, and 0 is received. That means, so now the third case, okay. So here, even though the sender is sent 011, consider it is received as 000. What happened here? So is it this 000 is there here? Yes, it is there. But still, what happens by checking with respect to this table, it will come to know that the method used at the receiver side, it comes to know that it is a valid code word. Okay, when it is referring to the table, this code word is available in the table. So because that it comes to know that it is a valid code word. And what it will do, it will extract the data 00 and it will deliver to the receiver. Is it correct actually? Is it correct? What is the data should be delivered to the receiver is 01, but here what happened is 2 bits got corrupted. Okay, 2 bits got corrupted. So sometimes, so these methods, it is like if there is more than 1 bit got corrupted, it may get matched with any one of the valid code word. So in that case, the error may go undetected. Okay, so it is not detected the error when there is more than 1 bit got corrupted. Is it clear? All three cases. So I've just taken this example. So there may be, if there is no error, okay, if 1 bit got corrupted, it is easily possible to identify. If it is more than 1, so sometimes it is misinterpretedly, it can tell that it is a valid code word because it is matching with the table. 00 is there. So it will come to know that it is correct. But what is the exact data to be delivered is 01, but it is delivering 00. Okay, that is not the correct data. So like this, the sometimes the method, it is having limitation. Either it may detect only 1 bit. If it is more than 1 bit, so this method may not able to detect the error. Okay, these are all just fundamentals. I'm not just gone to the main method.
So,
Okay.
ma'am, in that case, the receiver is going to receive the wrong data.
No, it is not going to receive. I told no, it will be discard. In this case, it is received wrong data. But this is just a fundamental topic or the method I am explaining. Okay, in real time, we have some other advanced methods. So that in that case, this problem may not happen. Okay, so you're going to learn all those methods. Okay, this is just one simple method that tells if you are using this concept of code word matching. So in such cases, this problem may occur and invalid data is delivered. Okay, so we have other method you're going to learn. So how this problem can be solved in the other method. Okay. Okay, so this is an example of error correction. Okay, it is almost similar to this, the whatever I told for detection. Only thing is you can just observe here what happened in this diagram. So if it is only error detection, it will check. Okay, it will check for the error. If there is error, it will discard the message. Okay, and ask for the retransmission. In case this checker is also included the correction. Okay, so it is, you can just see here there is no discard. So it is going to correct the error. Once the error is identified, it is going to correct the error and the valid data is delivered to the data word. Okay, so for whatever the question you asked, no, so if there is error, is message is discarded or okay, so in that case we need some other technique. Okay, whatever the like some of the errors, if it is not able to detect, so for that we need some advanced methods. So using that advanced method, so most of the time we can ensure that the errors will be detected. So you will be learning those methods. This is just simple one. Is it clear? The detection and correction. So in the correction you can just see there is no discard. So it has to correct the error. So this method is going to identify how many bits got corrupted, what is the position of the bits. Accordingly it will correct the error. Okay. So we'll be learning those methods in the next topic. Okay, so this is just with a like larger number of bits. Okay, so here I have taken, I think table, it is not considered here. Okay, so this is another example. Like if you want to go for error detection, like in the previous method by adding one bit, so the error it was unable to detect some of the errors. Okay, so here what is happening is you can just observe. So more than one bit is uh, more than one bit as a extra bit or redundant bit is added to the code word. You can just understand. In the previous we have just added one bit, so here added 3 bits extra. Okay, so 3 bits extra bits are added here. So for this similar way, there is a example like how you can compare to find the error is there in the received data or not. I want you people to just go through this. Okay, only thing is the number of extra bits added is more. So in what case, how many number of errors it can detect? Okay, in the first case by adding one bit, extra bit, if there is more than one error, one bit got corrupted, so it is not able to identify. Okay, so due to that you can just keep on increasing number of redundant bit added. So you just understand, go through these cases and try to understand so how that problem can be solved. Let me just move on to Hamming distance. Okay, in block coding, I think is it getting late? Okay, thought of finishing this Hamming distance also. That's very simple one. Shall I take 5 more minutes? Yes. I think you don't have any other class, no? Shall I continue for 5 more minutes? Okay, no response. Okay, so let me, I need extra class. Tomorrow, will you people join at 1:30 onwards? Is it possible? You will finish your classes at 1 o'clock. Is it possible? Shall I take one extra class tomorrow? Okay, let me see. Now I'll just host the quiz. I want you people to take the quiz and complete that task immediately. Okay, so still 5 minutes is there. Let me quickly go to this Hamming distance. Okay, in brief I'll explain so that we'll continue the advanced of this in the next class. So here, what is Hamming distance? This is another concept used for error detection and correction. Okay, the main concept for error control. Hamming distance. Why the name Hamming distance here? So the scientist name Hamming is like R.W. Hamming. He is the person who invented this particular method for identifying the errors in the received data. So Hamming distance between two words is the number. You need to understand what is the meaning of Hamming distance. So it is the distance between two words. Okay, if you have two words means 0010. Okay, I have one more word. So what is the distance between these two numbers? Okay, if you identify that, you will come to know that how many errors got, I mean how many bits got corrupted. Okay, so that is called as Hamming distance. Distance between two words is the number of difference between corresponding bits. You need to check for corresponding bits. So you can just go with simple XOR operation here. 0, 1 is 1, 1, 1 is 0, 0, 0. So what is the distance you got? You got distance is 1. That means there is one error is introduced. Okay, so this is another simple method how you can easily identify the errors. Okay, how easily you can identify the errors. Are you getting? So this is the process is used, XOR operation. So Hamming distance can be found by applying XOR operation on two words. Okay, so what is two words here? Code words. Okay, what is the code word, actual code word, and what is the code word it is received? Okay, by applying this XOR operation, so we will be getting the result, is it error is there or not, or if it is error, how many bits got corrupted, you will come to know. Okay, for example, Hamming distance between 0, 0, 0, 1, 1 is 2. Okay, so consider this is one code word and another code word is 0, 1, 1. Okay, if you apply XOR operation, you are going to get 2 ones. That means there is 2 bit got corrupted. Similarly, you can just go with this number. So the distance is 3 and here also it is 3. Okay, so this is called as Hamming distance. So how to represent Hamming distance? So let's say so there is a one key code word is X, okay, and another code word is Y. So how to calculate distance here, Hamming distance, that is d comma d of X comma Y. Whatever you are going to get here, so that is called as Hamming distance. So here Hamming distance between the received code word and sent code word. So this is sent code word and this is received code word. When you apply XOR operation on these two, you will come to know. So if it is 0, if you are not getting the distance is 0, that means there is no error. Okay. In case if you are getting example, you can just quickly apply your 0, 0, 1. If there is no error, if it is received as it is, so you can just see here there is no like any distance, 0 distance, that means there is no error. So how many number of ones you are going to get here after XOR operation, that tells how many number of bits got corrupted. Okay, you can just observe here. So this is the code word sent and this is received. When you apply these two, so here you are getting three number of ones. So how you got 1? So here 5, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay, quickly apply XOR operation here. 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. How many number of ones? It is 3. Okay, so like that you are going to count how many number of ones, that indicates the number of bits got corrupted. Okay, so 3 bits are in error in the received data. And if the distance is 0, okay, that means here I have got the distance is 0, what it indicates. So there is the code word is not got corrupted. Code word has been not been corrupted during transmission. If it is other than 0, it indicates that anything other than 0, how many number of ones it is there, it indicates there is a error in the data received. You can just go through the textbook and there are some examples how to calculate the Hamming distance. Just a very simple formula, XOR operation you apply and find out how many number of ones, you will come to know Hamming distance. Okay, will you people go through this? You can just observe here. Okay, so in the next class we'll continue further about Hamming distance, how many bits it can identify errors and how many bits it can correct. We'll discuss in the next class. Okay, and also tomorrow, not tomorrow, Monday, if possible, I'll just find out if anybody is ready to view class. I will try to take one more extra class. Okay, so tomorrow if I get class, I'll just go for CRC. Okay, so that is a commonly used method for finding the errors. Okay, and this is like a